What up, guys, and welcome back to Thomas Reacts here on the 360 experience with myself, Thomas Mabaso. The fight between the Democratic Alliance and the Economic Freedom Fighters still rages on. You know that the Democratic Alliance, under the leadership of John Steeuinhuisen, have declared the Economic Freedom Fighters as their enemy number one. They said that the EFF is their enemy number one, not the ANC. No, not the ANC, not the party that is collapsing this country, not the party that is corrupt, not the party that is pushing for cadre deployment, but they have decided that the Economic Freedom Fighters are their enemy number one. And according to me, I think that the Democratic Alliance didn't see the EFF coming. This is the reason why they hated the EFF so much, because at some point the Democratic Alliance was the alternative for South Africans. At some point the South Africans were speaking about removing the ANC and replacing it with the Democratic Alliance. But ever since the EFF came along, man, their plans, everything started being all over the place. And I also understand why the Democratic Alliance has decided that the Economic Freedom Fighters are their enemy number one. Man, you have to understand that the Democratic Alliance have been fighting ANC for such a long time, and just when they were about to finish the job, the Economic Freedom Fighters comes out of nowhere, and now people are contemplating of voting for the Economic Freedom Fighters and not the DA. And normally the voters of the ANC will be more comfortable to vote for Economic Freedom Fighters, not with the DA. I think this is the problem, man. I know that these fancy political analysts, they have their fancy ways of explaining these things, but I'm telling you how it is. So, guys, do you think it was wise, man, for the Democratic Alliance to announce the EFF as their enemy number one as we go to 2024 elections?
Yeah, talking about it, I mean, what do you make of John Steeuinhuisen, just saying out of the blue, and this was totally unexpected, even by people who have predicted what you were going to say, that the EFF is enemy number one. I mean, no. What did you think that was about? I mean, from a point of view of looking ahead to coalition politics that are going to take root next year?
No, Steeuinhuisen is not a leader. I think he's very short-sighted. You don't do that in politics. Firstly, you don't know what the numbers are going to look like next year. Yeah. And you're already closing the door to any possible realignment and so on. Yeah. But secondly, it's just dumb. I mean, how can I
and it's surprising to me, man. I don't understand this thing. The DA says that they are not going to work with the African National Congress, and they are also saying that they are not going to work with the Economic Freedom Fighters. But at the same time, they still have a problem with the possibility of the ANC and the EFF in 2024. It's like they still have a problem with that. So we are pushing these guys to come together, and when these guys come together, now you have a problem. Because if you look at the mainstream media, this is what it has been pushed, that the coalition between the African National Congress and the EFF would be devastating for the country. But the same people who are saying that, they said that they are not going to work with the ANC and the EFF. So do you think that the ANC and the EFF are not thinking of working together, since you guys want nothing to do with them? Well, you are mistaken. These guys, they have a possibility of working together. And mainly it's because of you. Like the DA, they are the one who caused this. They're the one who are making people debate right now about this coalition between the African National Congress and the EFF. It is because of them. They said that they want nothing to do with the African National Congress. They want nothing to do with the EFF. They concocted a moonpeg shot, and the moonpeg shot said what? No, we want nothing to do with the African National Congress. We want nothing to do with the EFF. So what do you think is going to happen with the African National Congress and the EFF? They're going to think about coming together, since you guys hate them so much. So it is your fault that right now in the country there's a debate about the possible coalition of the African National Congress and the EFF. It is the fault of the DA. I'm telling you. The DA is going to deliver to you the governance of the African National Congress and the Economic Freedom Fighters. That's what they are going to do. Thanks to the DA, you are about to see the coalition between the African National Congress and the EFF. Thanks to the DA, man.
Official opposition, their main duty, the reason that the official opposition is because the citizens wanted them to take on. They've got the silver medal, if you like. They should be going for gold.
Yeah.
But they're busy worrying about
bronze.
The guy who got bronze. So imagine that in the Olympics. If they ask the number 2 guy, what's your aspiration? He says to beat this guy who got bronze.
Yeah.
It's madness. Yeah, but look.
But what do you think that is? Is that fear mongering? Because remember, the DA is a particular.
Because clearly, because of what I've just said, the biggest threat for them cannot be the EFF. But the DA decided last year, because the people who ate their bacon was the Freedom Front Plus.
Yeah.
So they've decided that's why they brought back Helen Zille to shift to the right and be a white party, but still pretend not to be a white party. So that's a signal to...
Let's talk about that. Should we take them seriously? Diverse party.
Oh, please. Diverse of my foot. That diversity they're talking about is a fake diversity. You know, I was saying, if the DA is the most diverse party, then apartheid was the most diverse system, because it had Mangope, it had Batanzima, Mpepu, and all sorts of collaborators around it, and therefore it was diverse.
And guys, do you believe that the DA is diverse, man? What are your thoughts on this narrative that the DA is not diverse, man? The DA is a white people's party. And according to Dali Mpofu, the party that really should be worried about the Democratic Alliance is Freedom Front Plus, because the Democratic Alliance has decided that they are going to campaign for white people strictly. That's what Dali Mpofu is saying. Are you agreeing with him on that?
I mean, it's absolute nonsense. The DA is quintessentially a party that represents white interests and whiteness, and wants to protect the privileges of the past. So that you can change, you can tinker around, but don't touch our land, don't touch our privilege, don't touch our status, and
but would you say is that why would, and I know they don't like this, but why would an exodus of black leaders, since Maimane, Herman Mashaba, Patricia DeLille, all of these people, despite that they were there trying to make a change?
Absolutely. I mean, those guys, firstly, they were already politically suspect. But even for them, we really tried to buy into this diversity, hey, let's hug and kiss each other thing. Realize that no, ultimately you are treated as a black person, and they left almost for the same reason. It might be different here and there, but they were frustrated with the refusal, as it were, of that party to change. But it's fine, you know, the DA they must stop pretending. They must just say, look, we're here to represent white interests, to make sure that white people remain on top of the pile. And that's why the EFF would be for them enemy number 1. I mean, I feel sorry for the poor ANC. It used to be enemy number 1. Now it's been relegated to enemy number 2.
And guys, why, according to you, why do you think that it is important for the Democratic Alliance? Damn, this chicken is making a noise. Why do you think that it is important for the Democratic Alliance to declare the Economic Freedom Fighters as their enemy number 1? If you are the member of the Democratic Alliance, guys, let me close the window. I'm saying that, guys, if you are the member of the Democratic Alliance, why do you think it is important to announce the EFF as their enemy number 1? Do you think that it is a wise strategy for the Democratic Alliance to focus on the Economic Freedom Fighters? Don't you think that the Democratic Alliance needs to focus on its people? Because for some reason, guys, I don't know if it's me or what, but the DA, it's almost as if they always need to have an enemy, man. They can't go into elections without an enemy. And for some reason, Ramaphosa, who is now running the things in South Africa, Ramaphosa, who is presiding over the African National Congress, that is making sure that the whole country collapses. The Democratic Alliance does not see them as enemy number 1. So according to me, it makes no sense. I don't understand. And the DA needs to have an enemy, man. You remember even the last elections, they were running on Jacob Zuma. And with Ramaphosa, it was hard for the DA to run against Ramaphosa because they like Ramaphosa a bit, the Democratic Alliance. Unlike with Zuma, man. With Zuma, they were attacking him full on. But right now, you see that the Democratic Alliance has decided to focus on the economic freedom fighters. Do you think that is a wise strategy? As a member of, if you are a member of the Democratic Alliance, do you think that it is a wise strategy for the DA to focus on EFF and not on its own people, man? And do you think that it is fair for me to say that the DA, it's almost as if they always need to have an enemy? The DA cannot exist without an enemy. It's almost like NATO. They cannot exist without an enemy. So guys, what are your thoughts on this whole thing? Do you think that it is important for the Democratic Alliance to focus on the economic freedom fighters and declare them as their enemy number one?
Why? Yeah. Because they have aligned themselves, particularly the current ANC of Ramaphosa. They are effectively a darker shade of DA. So the DA actually, this is an overture. This thing of EFF is number one enemy. It's an overture to Ramaphosa's ANC to say, we're prepared to, you are not number one enemy. We can do a coalition with you in 2024. But just don't come with this people who actually want to learn.
I want us to analyze it a little bit after the break. There seems to be fear-mongering around the fact that EFF may coalesce with the ANC.
Absolutely.
Right?
What are your thoughts, guys? What are your thoughts on this whole thing? I don't have... I wish I had a full interview, man. It looks like a very interesting interview. But what are your thoughts, man, about this whole thing of the Democratic Alliance focusing on the EFF and not the ANC? Do you think that, just like Dali Mpofu just said, that the DA is trying to signal to the ANC that we want to come into coalition with you. We want to come into coalition with you. That's why we are declaring these ones as our enemy number one. We know that you're going to get majority of the votes in 2024. We know that the ANC is going to get the majority of the votes in 2024. So we want to go into coalition with them because we like power. Do you think that is what the DA is doing right now by declaring the EFF as enemy number one? They are signaling to the African National Congress that we want to go to coalition with you. Despite your corruption, despite the fact that the whole government is run by cadres, men who don't know what they're doing, the Democratic Alliance wants to go to coalition with the ANC. Do you think that is fair? Do you think that is a fair assessment? Guys, please tell me what you think on the comment section, and don't forget to hit that like button. And the most important part, subscribe. My name is Thomas Mabaso, and I will see you next time. Bye-bye.